Gimme, 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 gimme. Welcome to FICSMAS. I'm Dan. Today, we start our FICSMAS project because we've got to actually unlock everything for FICSMAS since this save was not around back in December of 2020. So we're going to have to start from square one. So we're going to cover up the basics of just getting some unlocks done, and then we're going to look at our Christmas site where we're going to plan to do it, and then we're going to get a starter factory going so that we can mass produce Christmas gift trees. I'm going to add timestamps to the description, so if you are a little bit more advanced with FICSMAS and want to skip some of the earlier parts, you can jump ahead to some of the more fun parts. Let's get started. If you haven't already started FICSMAS, FICSMAS is the Christmas event that got added into Satisfactory back in 2020, and it's now been updated for 2021. It starts by falling presents out of the sky, which you pick up. There's one over there, which I've already picked up several, and I've been stacking up over here. And then you get some unlocks through a calendar. It has little gifts on each day, and some of the gifts are something required to help progress the entire FICSMAS process. It's a lot of fun, and FICSMAS is great because you don't have to do the factories, but the calendar itself has some great little rewards in it that, you know, even if you don't do the rest of it, there's some cool stuff in there. So we're gonna actually start with the calendar, and then we're gonna go do some of the early FICSMAS unlocks. I believe number one is here, which you get 100 gifts the first day, which is nice. They are kind of randomized. I'm not sure if everyone got 100 on the first day, but there is a bunch, there's several different item pools, and I think everybody gets certain days, though, will have certain items. Number two, 25 tickets. Not gonna complain. And let's find day number 3. It's right here. Red FICSMAS ornament. So FICSMAS is progressed via the calendar and through the MAM, through this FICSMAS holiday tree, where you start with the first item from the constructor. This will be something we can create in a constructor, and this is the giant tree we can set up. So it just takes 100 gifts. We just got 100 from the calendar, so we can do that. The next thing in the line is that we need to be able to create candy canes, unlock the candy canes, and then we can unlock, this is a decoration you can put up, and FICSMAS bows, which we'll need for a couple other things. So we got to do these unlocks next, and this is going to require us to use some ornaments or some gifts that we created. So we're going to set up a little temporary factory to get ourselves started. I do have a spot in mind for our actual FICSMAS factory, which I'll share with you all very shortly. But we're going to get some of these things started. I'm going to go ahead and pick up our gifts. I know for the first set, we'll need about 3 constructors. Yeah, we'll just do one here, and one here. And just to be lazy, I'm just going to set up a single storage container. This will just make sure that everything we do is going to get spammed with stuff. I need to find a power pole around here that I can snag power from. This works. And we'll just bring it over and put it right on top of our constructor, the splitter, the sign of a temporary factory. We're just going to power that one. We'll power this one and this one, even though we're not using it yet. And then I am just going to go ahead and overclock this like mad. That'll give us the tree branches we need in about 2 minutes. So once we get our 50 tree branches, we're going to get access to the candy cane basher, which is a fun little toy. It's basically the same thing as the Xeno basher, but it has a fun little particle effect when you hit things. The candy cane is another item we'll be creating in the constructor, which we will need to unlock the candy cane decor, which gives us our FICSMAS bow and our candy cane. And there's our 50. So let's go do the unlock. We'll let that continue running because we need some tree branches. And now we can start the next process by turning on the next constructor so we can make candy canes. Here we go. We'll go ahead and speed this baby up. And there's our 20 candy canes. Oh, we only need 10. Well, that's fine. Perfect. Now we're gonna need an additional 10 and 30 bows. So let's get the bow constructor started. Now we can open up the next tree.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. FICSMAS is coming to town.
All right, so this is the end goal. This is what we want. This right here will allow us to automate the entire FICSMAS factory. And so we'll set up 2 smelters, one for a red, and this one the blue. Let's go create our candy cane basher while we're waiting for those to finish. Let's go try out our candy cane basher. Spread the FICSMAS cheer. All right. Give me the Christmas tree. There we go. Okay, now that I have the stuff for the trees, we're gonna go ahead and try to put them down. I think we'll just put them here for now, let them start producing stuff. They're not gonna produce very much. Each tree only produces about 15 gifts per minute. You can see there's a little exit point for them. We're going to put a merger here. It's obviously not going to be 100% efficient. It's at least going to provide some level of automation. And now we have gifts coming out. The more trees we can get, the faster we can do everything. So that's a good start. All right, let's head over to my FICSMAS factory location and take a look. So here's where I'm thinking. Now, I know we could do it just about anywhere in the world, but for some reason I was looking around and I really like this spot. You can see I've done a little pre-work and I'll show you how I did it. But there's this nice rock sticking out. And I was thinking this would be a great spot for one of the trees, maybe even an extra size tree. We can make somehow make a funny one using multiple trees. We can have some roads going up to our factories. We can have factories all in here. You can actually set up a factory inside this area. I just think it'd be interesting, especially if we can do some of the effects they have for FICSMAS, where they have like the snowfall stuff and everything. So we might be able to do some cool effects with it. I was just playing around here, trying different pillars. I only added these things because one of the pillars had a rock sticking out of it. And I was like, I'll try to cover it. Let's go take a closer look. All right, here we are on the first one. And you can see I've got this little green platform and I've created this little curve. Yes, I actually did a curve. I almost never do these, but I actually found a nice way to do it. And you can see the corners are touching perfectly, which makes it really nice. You can make this even more curved. I just kind of did a little bit of I did a bit of a big curve on it just because I wanted to kind of go around this rock right here. I left the other side because I'm going to show you how I did it. So we're just going to set up a tower. I'm not entirely sure if this thing's going to stay, but it was definitely a good idea to try. And it's pretty easy to do. No mods. You could do this completely without mods. So what we're going to do, this one's attached to our grid. So I put the first one down here that it's on our world grid. So it lines up with everything. Obviously, once you start doing this, you're going to get off your grid. That's okay. You can use stuff on your grid to get back on. But I wanted another curve going this way. I don't know if my curve is going to match up, but we'll see. So the way to do this, okay, you can curve, you can put a one on here and you can curve it like this, but you'll notice how it gets off the corner. So it makes it difficult to make a nice circle unless you do something fancy where you start going out and out and out, and then you'll find a good lineup spot. But this way, you can pretty much do it without doing that. You can find your curve any way you like. You can go back and forth once you know how to do it. And it's really about getting the foundation to pivot on this corner here. If we can do that, we can pretty much pivot how much we like and have the corner line up. And the way we can do that is by putting a walkway, like right here, and then we can attach the foundation here. And as you noticed, the center of our foundation is now on the corner, which is great because we can now go up one and we can now hit control. And for these, I did 4 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, but you could easily just go 1 and it'll obviously be a very slower curve, much larger curve. 3, 4. And then we add another one right about here. And we move it back right at the center like that. Now we can delete this one, we can delete that one, delete that one, delete that one. Might have to get a different angle here. Be back better if I move this back, but we'll just put this one down. You can delete this one. And as you can see, right on the tip. So we'll just color it, not green. I think I was playing around with the colors earlier. There we go, color it. Now, I personally hate these Z fighting. It drives me nuts. But when you get these concretes in the bright, it's not too noticeable unless you're really close. And I believe Total Eclipse, he pointed out that you can also use asphalt, and it's almost completely invisible. You have to get really close and you can kind of see it, but it's almost completely invisible. When you have the concrete that's colored, it becomes super visible. So as long as you paint them white, It's less noticeable. I don't personally like this. This is kind of why I never do circles, is this. But with the concrete and the asphalt, definitely more feasible, because from a distance, you'll barely notice it. So we're going to do some more of these. And I'm going to move the tower back so I have an easier time. So I did 4, 4, 4, 4. And then to get it lined up, at least east and west, I did 2 over there. Or it was 2 or 1, I forgot. But we're going to do it again here. Walkway, put it right on the right corner. Make sure you're getting the center of the foundation on the tip. Come up, hit control. It remembers your last thing, so you just can hit it once. Then we just put this over here. And we get it lined up again. Delete. And we just go down. This is easier in default mode if you don't put zooping on. And now we can just repeat that. That works. It kind of puts the pillars into the rocks. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I might do something different. I might put some big signs. I was thinking about maybe doing some big FICSMAS signs, some big billboards or something. Or small billboards. And then I could do some FICSMAS with some lights. One FICSMAS tree. I could put it like right in the middle there. I didn't know how big it was going to be, but let's go take a look from a distance. So when that tree is all dolled up, it'd be pretty cool. Fits nicely on there. From a distance, I think the tree fits nicely. I'm not sure if we'll use the pillars. As I said, we could do something else. We could do walls down. We could do foundations down. We can do different colors. We could paint the concrete in FICSMAS colors. So I might try different things. We might try putting, this is kind of small for this, but we might try putting, if we made it bigger, we could put like 4 of these or 5 of these and then have the middle one stacked up. And so it looks like one giant tree, kind of. That'd be pretty cool too. But in order to implement that, we're going to need lots and lots of Christmas trees. So we need to automate some of our process so that we can start producing Christmas trees. So we need to be producing the copper and iron ornaments, gifts, and tree branches. So we're going to head back. I think what we're going to do is we're going to set up this little valley here as our little starter area for FICSMAS, as we need to automate making trees, because either way we're going to need a lot of trees. So we need to build up some supply of tree branches, gifts, in copper and iron ornaments. And the perfect thing about this is that we have an iron and copper node over here that we're not using. And it's not like we're going to lose these nodes because after FICSMAS is over, nothing will work. So we'll get those nodes back. So I think this is a perfect spot to do our early smelting and ornament creating. So that's what we're going to do. So let me lay down some foundations and we're going to bring up the iron and copper nodes. All right, I've got some shiny foundations down now that we have some plastic. I've checked this. We're kind of close to the fart rocks, but it looks like this edge corner is not in their field of influence. We need to smelt some iron and copper, and we need to be able to generate blue ornaments, red ornaments, and make copper and iron ornaments. So, okay, I figured out our plan. And this was me just messing around for funsies with the coated foundations. That won't stay because we're going to get a bunch of buildings in the way. But it's cool. The gradients were a lot of fun. Anyways, I forgot that I left it there. All right, so we're going to make about 15 copper ornaments and 15 iron ornaments per minute. In order to do that, we're going to need three foundries each Each one produces 5. So for the copper, we're going to need a total of 30 copper ingots per minute and 30 red ornaments per minute. And for the iron, we need 45 iron ingots per minute and 45 blue ornaments per minute. So I set up 2 smelters for the iron ingots, doing 22.5 each. This gives them 45, and I have 1 copper here doing the 30. And we're going to set up 6 smelters for red ornaments. That'll give us the 30 red ornaments we need, and we'll set up 4.5 smelters for the blue ornaments, which will give us the 45 we need. We can actually underclock all 5 of those to 9, and that'll give us the 45. And then we'll send the ornaments and the ingots up here. Let's lay down the smelters. Okay, so the first part's done. It's going to take a little while for it to spin up because 500 size stacks are going to take a while. All right, so we're going to let this saturate, and then I'm going to go upstairs and start wiring up the boundaries. All right, we've got our iron and copper belted up. You might be asking, why are you using Mark IV belts when you don't even need what's on a Mark I? Well, the answer to that would be, we will eventually, and I don't want it to come back and fix it, so I just loaded them up with the Mark IV belts. Later they'll feed into a much bigger factory, so just save ourselves a little time. That is just about everything. We just need to wire the mergers up there. We're still gonna have to set up some tree branches, but that's just like a constructor. And another tree, a gift tree, just to fill up a container for gifts. Let's get these final mergers done, and our starter FICSMAS factory will be ready to go. I think we can just merge them down here, and that'll work perfectly. Okay, everything's been running for a little while. We have copper and iron ornaments coming down. Got a few going in the containers. Not too much yet, but that's all good. Everything's running. I also went ahead and set up an extra Christmas tree for tree branches. We got some going, and I have a Christmas tree just making gifts since we need a stack of those as well. Also, side note, this was helpful in helping saturate these smelters over there. I have to admit, manifolds on gifts are not necessarily the smartest idea. There are ways to do a more direct approach, more perfect splitting, which on our larger factory, when we get to it, we might do that. I was tempted to try to decorate this place, but it is temporary. I may still do it, but I don't want this video to run too long. If you guys want me to keep this little one and maybe throw a roof and some decorations over it, I can probably do that as well. We might just keep it because it might help us feed the main factory for trees for a while, so we'll see. So we're gonna let this run and build up our supply of everything we need for making more gift trees, and then we'll come back when we get the ornament bundle and we can do our bigger factory. We'll probably go do the coal generator next because we're gonna need more power in order to run our FICSMAS factory. I would like to decorate this place. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to decorate this little temporary place. We could leave it. It could fun. We're gonna need a lot of trees. It'll be here for a while. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get started on that soon, but we're definitely gonna need power. So I'm gonna head back and start working on coal power, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. At least we got a few days till the ornament bundle shows up. That leaves me enough time to get coal generators done.